Debates won't get us anywhere. They, if anything, help people becoming more polarized. It's like debating which is better, jazz or classical music. There is endlessly many ways in which you can come up with arguments, ad hoc almost, which one is better and by which measure, which side is better. Um, this will never, even if people change sides here and they become convinced that no, first they believe A and then believe B, they become convinced for the wrong reasons. And in other words, there is many examples in which you can believe the right thing for the wrong reasons. Debates won't get us anywhere. What can get us somewhere is pathways, shared pathways. And this is not something novel. We have been basically doing this forever. The opposite of a debate is when you get together with someone and imagine you're getting on a hike together and you're walking on a pathway. What you're doing is you are already walking on the same path together. And from that shared path, from that shared experience, you're looking around and asking each other, what do you see? How do you experience it? How does it change it? This is a very different starting point. The unification here comes from the shared pathway, from the shared experience, not from the shared narrative. You can have diverging views, but while still on the pathway, you're still unified. Something other than narrative is bringing you together. While in debates, on the other hand, or generally on social media, what brings people together makes them feel that they are part of the same pathway are shared narratives, are the same reactions to the same memes, to the same pictures, having the same emotions as a reaction to something that is outstandingly disturbing or outstandingly annoying. The shared pathway situation doesn't exist in those cases. In those cases, the only thing that is shared is just narrative. It's an overlap of beliefs. This is what creates a sense of mutuality, which is actually a mutuality which is not based in on knowing each other. It's not based on having experienced something together, but based on the idea that just because we share the same view, we actually have a common past. Well, we don't. You create a common past by creating a common past. You have to go through some form of experience. And it was easier back in the day when people were not just in front of the screen all the time, when they had different occasions on which they can make and shape experiences together. Everything from building a home together, even, I don't know, like hunting, something I've never done, I've never experienced, I could never imagine even doing. There are so many different occasions in which you can actually walk on a shared pathway, and from that, then exchange perspectives, but still feel unified with the other side. A different approach to this would also be, for example, how we do reading at universities. What we do at universities is not we jump into one stream and everybody has to have the same beliefs about something, but you create a joint experience first, which is you read one text. Everybody in the group reads the same piece of literature. So you've made sure everybody has gone through the text. And what you then do from that shared experience of reading the text, you ask people, how did you see that? How did it influence you? What do you personally associate it with in your personal life? And this does not necessitate people to agree. This does not necessitate people to come into the same ways of reading the situation, reading the text, interpreting the text. Actually, diversity then becomes interesting. It becomes something that can contribute to having a different vantage point of what are the possible ways in which you can look at the text. But the background of this is always the experience of having a joint, of jointly having read the text. So that the experience of sharing, the experience of being on the same pathway of learning is always in the background and always grounding the situation. None of that exists on social media. And the people that you learn to know in this way, when you walk on a shared pathway and you learn from them and they learn from you, really become part of your life, literally become part of the history, the personal history that you go through. They become part of your identity formation. On the other hand, on social media, pretty much the opposite is the case. You have the impression, you feel that people are close to you, you feel like being part of something, you feel like having a joint experience with somebody else, but at the end of the day, you're alone. That's the reality of it. At the end of the day, it's really a little bit like in the Matrix, where you're imagining an entire world and it feels rich to you and you have all these tense and intense emotions, but it's only in your head. It's only in your imagination. It's not the result of a joint, shared, walked pathway where this is something that you do with friends, for example. And with friends, we don't even oftentimes feel the need to agree because we know that friendship is something different than having to agree, than even having to have the same political viewpoints. It's based on something different. And that different thing you can't find on social media.